I now give the floor to His Excellency Chenda Savia Sok, Prime Minister of Cambodia. Deputy Prime Minister of Cambodia.
Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, your chosen theme, leaving no one behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity for present and future generations, mirrors the prevailing aspiration of the international community despite intractable security threats and challenges, as well as uncertainty and continuously evolving geopolitical landscape. The current picture of the world is grim. Violent armed conflict in Ukraine, Gaza, Lebanon, Sudan, Myanmar, and many other parts of the world rage on despite efforts to de-escalate them. Worse, with intensifying geopolitical tensions, any misstep in various flashpoints may trigger a regional or even global war, potentially involving nuclear weapons. Military spending has surged across the world, draining resources that could be used to address multiplying non-traditional threats that no single country can effectively tackle alone, such as climate change, pandemics, food insecurity, technological disruption, transnational crime, and backsliding on SDGs. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, Cambodia cannot emphasize enough the urgency for all of us to act together to confront these daunting challenges. It is critical that the principle of the UN Charter and international law remain the backbone of the world order and global cooperation. The use of diplomacy and mediation must be prioritized to resolve conflict and prevent de-escalation. Cambodia believes that sustainable peace can be achieved only through meaningful dialogue based on mutual respect, genuine goodwill, tolerance, and a commitment to peaceful coexistence. Based on these core principles, Cambodia sees great merit in the new agenda for peace presented by the UN Secretary General and support the actions laid out in the Pact for the Future for promoting international peace and security. Also based on these principles, Cambodia hopes for a prompt end to the war between Russia and Ukraine through diplomacy and dialogue based on equal respect. We commend all efforts to de-escalate the fighting and all initiatives that seek to end the war through peaceful means and that engage all sides to work together towards a lasting peace. On the Palestine-Israel conflict, Cambodia remains committed to its long-held support for a two-state solution in accordance with the relevant UN resolutions. We believe this plan is the only way Palestinian and Israeli can heal their prolonged antagonism and live side by side peacefully. Cambodia supports the establishment of the State of Palestine and Palestine's bid to become a full member of the United Nations. Cambodia condemns all acts of terrorism and calls for dialogue to stop the ongoing war and the ever-worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. We are deeply concerned over the prospect of an all-out region-wide war in the Middle East with the latest report on intensifying fighting in Lebanon. The current rapid escalation of war in this region must stop. Members of the international community must insist on all sides to work proactively to seek ways to defuse the very grave situation now. The crisis in Myanmar remains a serious concern to us. Cambodia, along with other ASEAN member states, is committed to the ASEAN 5-point consensus as the basis for peaceful and inclusive solutions. We stress the importance of fostering an environment conducive to dialogue and to ceasefire negotiations. We also emphasize the need for humanitarian relief and for Myanmar-owned and Myanmar-led political process aimed at a lasting peace and reconciliation. ASEAN, on the strength of its diversity, should continue to lead the effort to help Myanmar restore normalcy. Under Laos chairmanship, on the other hand, Cambodia welcomes the appointment of UN Secretary General on Myanmar and look forward to her working closely with the ASEAN Chair, own Special Envoy on Myanmar. A final point. Cambodia opposes unilateral coercive measures. They have a detrimental impact on ordinary citizens in targeted nations. Sanctions and economic blockades disproportionately harm the most vulnerable and impede achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, let me touch now on leaving no one behind. Given Cambodia's own dark past, we believe that peace is the key prerequisite for development, especially development that is sustainable and inclusive. Cambodia sees the attainment of sustainable development and human dignity for every individual as an absolute necessity. Cambodia's current long-term development strategy, called the Pentagonal Strategy, aims to build Cambodia into a vibrant and just society that thrives on lasting peace, political stability, good governance, and respect for the rule of law. With economic growth projected to reach 6% in 2024, Cambodia is on track to further reduce poverty to below 10% by 2028. It is also on track again to gain upper middle income status by 2030 and high income status by 2050. How do we get there? First, Cambodia will give top priority to building its human capital to meet the demand of the digital age. We will invest more on, first, quality education, science, and technology. Second, training and technical skill. Third, health and well-being. And fourth, food security and equal social protection with special attention to women, girls, and the marginalized. Second, we will deepen economic diversification by developing key sectors such as transportation and energy, and we will promote new drivers for economic growth and job creation. The construction of the Funan Techo Canal, inaugurated last month, will connect our capital Phnom Penh to the Gulf of Thailand. It will be a game changer for sustainable growth in Cambodia and for improving the livelihood of our people. Third, to enhance efficiency, inclusion, and access to public services, Cambodia will accelerate the development of e-government and of a digital economy and society. I am happy to note our significant advancement in financial inclusion with the introduction of an interoperable digital payment system by the central bank using blockchain technology called Bakong. Fourth, we take a whole-of-society approach to development that seeks to enhance resilience, sustainability, and inclusion by promoting gender equality, a green and circular economy, and environmental protection. After years on the list of the least developed countries, Cambodia looks forward to its expected graduation by LDC status by 2029. Reaching these milestones will reflect our impressive progress on our journey of revival and development. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, Cambodia values multilateralism, the rule-based international order, the principle enshrined in the UN Charter and international law. These are indispensable for consensus building and mobilizing concerted actions. And we worry that confidence in the fairness and effectiveness of multilateralism is eroding. Conflicts are multiplying. Geopolitical competition is intensifying. Adherence to international regimes is declining on many fronts: arms control, trade, the environment, human rights. In this time, it is time that member states reaffirm their commitment to the global system and rebuild trust in it. The United Nations, with its unparalleled convening power, has long been the driving force in addressing global challenges and promoting cooperation among states. But unprecedented challenges today are testing the limit of this esteemed body. We urgently need to revitalize the UN and make it more robust and more proactive. Cambodia fully supports the Secretary General's reform agenda, including the intergovernmental negotiations on Security Council reform. The UN Security Council needs to be tailored to the 21st century and to be effective for today's task. Its composition must be more fairly representative. As the Secretary General has rightly stated, we can create a future fit for our grandchildren with system built for our grandparents. Cambodia also fully supports the Secretary General call for bold climate actions. To achieve net zero emission by 2050, as it has pledged it would do, Cambodia has launched many measures, including raising the current 62 renewable energy share to at least 70% by 2030, by promoting reforestation and by providing incentive to green investment projects. Cambodia is actively participate in global climate negotiation, and it's look forward to the upcoming COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan. Cambodia also fully supports the work of the high-level political forum on SDGs held in July and the ECOSOC. We welcome the adoption of the Ministerial Declaration on SDGs. We reaffirm our commitment to the 2030 Agenda. We endorse an effort to bridge the SDG financial gap, reform the global financial system, and strengthen multilateral governance. As all of us together look to the future, it should seem evident that no nation can achieve these ambitious goals alone. Global challenges demand global solutions. Cambodia is committed to strengthening international cooperation, sharing knowledge and best practices, and working collaboratively with our global partners. By acting together, all of us here can create a world where peace, sustainable development, and human dignity are a reality for all our peoples. Cambodia commends the success of the Summit of the Future and reaffirm our steadfast commitment to the letter and the spirit of the Pact for the Future, to international peace and security, to turbocharging SDGs, to modernizing multilateral institutions. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, Cambodia is proud to play a significant role in global peacekeeping. Since 2006, we have sent over 9,000 of our people to serve in 11 UN missions, including over 800 women. We are honored to present our candidacy for membership in the Organizational Committee for the Peacebuilding Commission for 2025-2026. We seek your support for our bids. Cambodia supports relevant adjustment and reform to increase the effectiveness of peacekeeping operations and promote the agenda for women, peace and security, and youth, peace and security. Cambodia is also honored to hosting the 5th Review Conference of the Mine Ban Convention, also known as the Ottawa Convention, in November in Siem Reap. This landmark event will serve as a platform for renewed global solidarity in the pursuit of a world free from the scourge of anti-personal mine. We extend a warm invitation to all member states to join us for this important gathering. To conclude, Cambodia reaffirmed its steadfast commitment to working hand in hand with the UN and all member states to advance the noble goals of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity. Cambodia stands ready to contribute our unique experience, resources, and unwavering determination to this endeavor. For Cambodia, sustainable and inclusive development means no one and no place is left behind. I thank you for your kind attention.
I thank the Deputy Prime Minister of Cambodia.